We are just outside of Charlottesville at the Monroe Institute, and this is a huge farm that is in the Blue Ridge Mountains, and just, it's heaven here, just heaven. I have come here, originally I read a book by Robert Monroe called Journeys Out of the Body, and I felt as though my spirituality, as though my being was affirmed, that I wasn't a kook for having some of the experiences that I've experienced. Bob Monroe's books are descriptions of his out-of-body experiences, what he experiences when he leaves his body and goes into different realms. And as a child, I had out-of-body experiences, and then I had an experience when I was in my 20s where, this was a long time ago, but I was charged with electricity. This was deep in meditation, and I thought I was being charged so much that it might just kill me. It frightened me. Came out of meditation, and that charge brought this huge feeling of bliss for a long time. After that, I knew that that was a weird experience, and I couldn't talk about it with anybody. It was weird, and I wasn't sure if I was schizophrenic or if I was crazy, and I didn't want to talk about it with people because they hadn't experienced it. And then I read his book and realized that it's much more common. I wrote to the Monroe Institute, and this was back in the 70s, and got a response. And that was huge. And so the fact that, you know, this person who became famous through his books would take time to write, that was important. And in my experiences here, I had an experience called Gateway. It was one of the courses that's offered here, and it gave me so much. It expanded. I let go of some belief systems that were just totally not right, and it gave me confidence. Gateway is the first course that they recommend. Take Gateway first, and then the other ones, there's sort of a sequence, but there's more choice in it. But Gateway is 6 days of work where we spend time in the check unit, which is actually a sleeping place that's a meditation place. There's no, the environment is controlled. There's no phones, no music, no newspapers, no radio. All of that external is on purpose kept out so that we're not worried about time. We're not worried about fixing a meal. We're not worried about any of those things that we can get caught up in. And we have specific, I would say, maybe 3 or 4 times a day where we go into our meditation state and we listen to frequencies. We're able to experience different aspects of ourself that are very different than the physical. And so the very first 6 days is listening to the frequencies. It's shedding belief systems that don't work. It's expanding and understanding ourselves in a much bigger way. A little preface before I went to Gateway. I have 2 adult children, and my daughter had just graduated from college and gotten married to somebody that we're thrilled about. And she went to Thailand to teach English. And as a mother, never having been to Thailand, I was concerned about her, and I didn't realize how concerned I was till I came to Gateway. So in my meditations, I had sent my energy and love to her and surrounded her with, this was my intention in meditation, surrounding her with love and protection. In the process of that meditation, I saw her and was with her. I saw her needing money and being hungry and lonesome and loving her kids that she was teaching. But immediately, as soon as I came out of that meditation, I couldn't wait to call my husband and say, get some money in her account. She needs some money because she's got to eat. And then went back to her again. And in that process, I had sent dolphins to her, to surround her with this love and protection. And just recently, maybe last week, she told me that all of her friends there called her Dolph, which is short for dolphin. And that was her nickname. And I just think that's just uncanny. But it was an experience where we exchanged love and protection, and love knows no distance. It's immediate, and that affected me in a big way. There were many others that are emotionally important for me. So I won't go into the ones that would bore you, but the experiences are personal and shifting. The big question was, is this real? Am I crazy? And was that God? and I really wanted an answer. I knew that there were answers. And of course got, yes, it's real. And we can't say whether it's God, it's your experience. And your experience is important to you. And it affirmed me, my personhood, that I'm not schizophrenic. But that's one of the beautiful things, is that the Monroe Institute is not, of course it's spiritual because that's my culture, but they try to keep it very scientific. They don't say it's this or it's that, but they help me understand my personal experience. So it was very affirming, but yet I was not told, yes, it's God. Well, in my mind, I'm sure that is an aspect of God, but I was very interested in the scientific part of it, and thought that was interesting that it came through scientifically instead of labeling it with a cultural bias. It affected my life in that, coming from here and going back into my busy life, I look at people differently. They're bigger. What they have to say is important. It's a broader understanding. It's a deeper connection, and we're all spiritual entities. No matter what these physical bodies give us, we're more to it than that, and that understanding makes our relationships different. And different experiences, whether we want them or not, happen. And so I felt opened up to these experiences, able to see them. I think all of us are bombarded with these wonderful messages and experiences, and we're busy and don't see them. And so it opened up my awareness to many more than I had before. So it's a big experience.